What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from movieguy.com, and yeah, sometimes I review old movies that I haven't seen before that have audio description. And today's gem is The Untouchables, the 1987 film written by David Mamet, directed by Brian De Palma, starring Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Robert De Niro, and Andy Garcia. So, yeah, like this movie should be amazing, right? Like I should feel like I've missed out on something my entire life. And there are some really good scenes here that build tension. So props to the script by David Mamet and the direction by Brian De Palma. The performances here are good. I think this is perhaps controversial. I think Sean Connery's Oscar win for supporting actor is more of a career win than anything else. I think it was just as close as he was ever going to get to winning an Oscar, and they were like, "Yep, let's give it to him because he's Sean Connery." And that happens, and I'm fine with that. So people were able to say Academy Award winner Sean Connery. So there's nothing wrong with his performance. I just wasn't like, oh my God, this is by far, Sean Connery has gone farther than he's ever gone before. It's a good performance. Actually, it's a great performance from him. It's just not, I was expecting like a next level, Academy Award winner, but I think it's a little bit more of it was his time, win. Not that those are wrong. A lot of people are overdue and they don't always win for the right film. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm not trying to shame Sean Connery for winning here or the Academy for voting for him. There have been plenty of times where we've given it to somebody because they've been long overdue because they should have been nominated or won a million times before. It's just the way the system works. It's the machine. I'm guessing his competition that year wasn't the strongest, and there was just a huge push to give Sean Connery an Oscar. I just thought De Niro was doing De Niro, to be honest. I didn't feel like it's a great performance from him because it's exactly the kind of role he excels at, but I didn't feel like his Capone was really different from a lot of other gangster roles he's played. So I thought that was, Andy Garcia is at the beginning of his career, and he hasn't really established himself too much yet as having like a Garcia persona. It's pre-Godfather Part 3 when he really starts to kind of break out of his shell as to like his popularity and who he is, so I can't really say much about him. And Kevin Costner in the lead. This is at the sort of peak Costner period, and I thought it was good for him. Costner was somebody who always tried to take on serious roles, be taken seriously, and he did a good job here. So as a likable protagonist. Patricia Clarkson also, I noticed on IMDb, in a much smaller role, although I didn't recognize her voice in the film. She didn't really gain notice until later in her career. This is probably going to be like the most controversial thing ever, especially considering I saw who it was and I saw it was nominated. Oh my God, I feel terrible. I hated the score to this film, and I saw it was Ennio Morricone, and I was like, oh my God, that makes it even worse. I hated it. I felt like it was so much in some scenes. I felt like it was way more than we ever needed. The whole scene at the cabin, kind of towards the end. It's not really towards the end. It's sort of entering into the final act. Like it's right at the end of the second act, I guess you could say, of the film. There's that whole battle sequence. Oh my God, that music was insane. Like it was great. It felt like the movie was ending. It felt like credits were rolling. Like it was so over the top for the scene, and it was just bombastic when it didn't need to be. It was louder than I mean, like, this is a film that could have had really good tension building music, or benefited in many times from minimalism. There are several times where it's like, shit's about to go down because the score started 5 minutes ago. Because the score started into its like horror movie, creepy, like, like you could hear it in the background and you're like, oh shit, something's gonna go down. But it takes so long to get to the shit that is going down that by the time you get there, it's exhausting. The score kind of let the film down. I would love to be able to just jump back into 1987 and be like, is the score amazing for 1987? Would I have remembered it? I just think the score was written by Ennio, and he's great, and they just took the score and they put it in the film, and nobody was like, oh my God. When you get one of the greatest composers of all time, like, what do you do with that? You just go, yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this wonderful music. But I'm not sure anybody really stopped to go, does this actually help the film or does it hurt the film? Because for me, it was either always too much or it always revealed that some shit was about to happen. Like, it was always showing its hand before, before the scene actually played out. The iconic scene with the baby, with the carriage, and like what's gonna go down with the baby carriage. There's literally like a baby lullaby thing like played into that, which is, it's smart when you think about it, but it really puts the focus on the baby, doesn't it? I mean, like, when you put the baby sounds into the score, it kind of makes you go, huh, wonder if there's going to be something happening with the baby, long before anything ever does actually happen with the baby. So, it's just not a really good score that hides the secrets and the twists of the film, and the the what's coming next, and who's got the gun, who doesn't have the gun, because that scene is so incredible, because there's so many people that keep coming in, and they're carrying a newspaper, they got their hand in their coat, and he's watching all of them, and he's like, oh my God, who is it, who's got, he's trying to figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, there's this random mother with this baby, and part of me expected her to pull out like an Uzi and just be like, it's me. But yeah, I almost think I would love to see this film redone with a very minimalistic score and shown to audiences who hadn't seen it, because I think the tension that this film has built through the direction of Brian De Palma and the script of David Mamet, I think that tension would have been there tenfold. We got what we got, and what we got was a good film. I don't know that it's a great one. Maybe that's faux pas, because this film it's like a quasi classic. I looked at it, Metascore of 79 and a 7.9 on IMDb. For a film from 1987, I feel like it's ranging on maybe not top tier classic, but like right below that. Like, nobody's gonna put this on the same level as like Jaws and Psycho and Apocalypse Now and The Shining, The Godfather, 2001. But there's like a list like right below that with a lot of films we don't always necessarily talk about, but we always sort of just regard as classics, just sort of like lesser known, lesser talked about films. But everybody, once you bring them up, people are like, oh yeah, of course. Diner would be a good example, for a film that generally falls under that category. There's a bunch of war films that until you bring them up, people usually don't remember to bring them up. Like, I don't know, The Longest Day. There you go. There's one. You didn't think about it until I said it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, The Longest Day." I feel like that's sort of where the Untouchables lies. Is people don't think about it enough as being a classic until somebody goes, "Hey, did you see the Untouchables?" And people are like, "Oh yeah, that was a great film." I think that's where this is. So, in like the less obvious classic category. So, my slight leanings away from dislike. Man, did it have to be a Ennio Morricone? Because I was sitting there the whole time watching this. I was like, who did this score? The score is so much for this film. It's overpowering this film, and then it was a Ennio Morricone. I was like, damn it, god damn it, god damn it. I have to go on and film an actual video where I'm saying that a Ennio Morricone score was not good. Shit. I didn't like it. The audio description here is fine. It let me know everything that I needed to know. It was good. Unfortunately, this is one of those films that no matter what you do, you can sit there till the end of the credits. It's not going to tell you what company made it, who narrated it. None of that information. It just drops out. It does come back in at the end of the film to like read you some like legalese at the end about, piracy and no animals were harmed or whatever. But it didn't give me the narrator. But whoever that was, good job. And actually, I have to say, I know it's only 1987. But sometimes my complaints with older films is that their soundtracks aren't preserved. So when we do record audio description, there is such a jarring difference between audio description that sounds like it was recorded yesterday and audio description and the audio track that was recorded many moons ago. That's not this. The audio, I actually thought the audio track here was great. It sounds a lot more current than I would have given a 1987 film. So we've definitely taken a good care of the print, of the original print, and really made sure to preserve it, which is a good thing. So there's a lot to like here, and it's historical, and you learn stuff. So, these based on a true story films, they're always good to watch because they give you a perspective in a period of time. This one being Prohibition and Al Capone, Elliot Ness, and that whole thing. So I'm happy I saw it. I'm happy I checked this off my list. I would not have been of the age to see this when it came out in 1987. Would have been weird to take me to see. I'm sure parents in the theater would have been like, isn't he a little young for this? And I'm sure everything would have gone over my head. So that's why I'm watching it now. I'm just catching up. That's it. So I generally liked the film. I thought the film was really pretty good overall. My biggest complaint, sadly, is the score. Kind of either telegraphed something was really something was coming, not just like a little bit, but like something was. Like shit is about to go down, or it was just way too much for the scene. So with that in mind, and me liking the rest of the film and the talent involved, I'm going to give The Untouchables an A-. So the only complaint you really have for a film is the score, it would have to be really bad to go much lower than that. So yeah. Anyway, them's my thoughts. I watched this on HBO Max. I don't know if it's still going to be there when you're watching this video, but that's where I watched it. With audio description, totally legit. And you could watch it there too. Let me know what you think in the comments. Throw me a like and a subscribe. You can visit my website, macthemovieguy.com, for more reviews. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org, for more films that have audio description and where they are. And theidna.org will let you know maybe who described this. I don't think it will, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for me today, and I will see you in my next review.